Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tim and Tom's Film Nights. I'm Thomas, your friendly neighborhood painter and hiking enthusiast, and over there is my dear friend and audio technician extraordinaire, Timothy. He was born in London during the Second World War, and boy does he love his historical books and cooking.
Hello everyone. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into tonight's film, shall we?
Indeed, my friend. Tonight, we are diving headfirst into Makoto Shinkai's latest masterpiece, Suzume. Now, Timothy, what did you think of this visually stunning film?
Absolutely detestable.
I honestly don't know what the fuss is all about.
It was a complete waste of time and resources.
Tim, you surprise me. Suzume is a breathtaking journey filled with adventure, fantasy, and heartfelt moment. I found myself tearing up multiple times throughout the film.
Oh, come now, Tom. It's just another run-of-the-mill Japanese anime with cliché tropes and predictable plot points. I've seen better stories on my local grocery store shelves.
Well, my friend, perhaps you should broaden your horizons a bit more. But enough about our differing opinions. Let's talk about the plot of Suzume. Timothy? Well, without spoiling too much for our lovely audience, let's just say that Suzume follows the titular character, a 17-year-old high school girl who finds herself entangled in a fantastical adventure. She meets Suta Munakata, a young stranger who helps her navigate this mysterious world filled with supernatural creatures and colossal disasters waiting to happen. Their journey takes them across Japan as they race against time to seal doors leading into the world of chaos unleashed by an enormous worm capable of causing earthquakes.
It sounds like a rather generic premise for an adventure film, if you ask me. But then again, I'm not really one for adventure stories in general. They always feel too rushed and full of convenient plot devices to move the story forward. Like how they just happen to stumble upon these powerful artifacts or magical creatures that help them solve all their problems.
But my dear Tim, I believe you're missing the point. Suzume is more than just your average adventure film. It explores deep themes such as sacrifice, responsibility, and growing up. The characters' journeys are filled with emotional turmoil as they grapple with their newfound roles in this supernatural crisis. And while there may be some elements of convenience in the storytelling, it all serves to highlight the importance of teamwork and trust between our protagonists.
Well, I'll give you that much. The animation was indeed stunning. Makoto Shinkai has outdone himself once again. But as for the plot, I still stand by my original assessment. It's just another run-of-the-mill fantasy adventure film with a few pretty pictures.
Alrighty then, Timothy, old chap. Let me ask you this. Do you remember that one scene in Suzume where they're running through the city trying to close a door before it's too late? And do you recall how they end up using a flock of pigeons to slow down the worm long enough for them to reach their destination? I was wondering if you could share your thoughts on that particular moment.
Well, Tom, dear chap, I must say that while I found the pigeon scene rather creative, it felt a bit forced and cheesy. It's not unlike many other action scenes in Hollywood blockbusters where they rely on implausible circumstances to heighten the tension and intensity of the moment. But then again, I suppose that's just me being old and grumpy about the state of modern cinema.
But Timothy, dear friend, you are forgetting that Suzume is an anime. It's not bound by the same rules and conventions as Western films. Anime has always been known for its unique and creative storytelling techniques. And in this case, using a flock of pigeons to slow down a gigantic worm is just another example of how Japanese animation pushes boundaries and defies expectations.
Well, if you insist on twisting my words like that, Thomas, then I suppose I must concede that the pigeon scene was indeed innovative. But don't think this old man is going to start watching any more of these animated shenanigans. I'll stick to my classic Hollywood westerns and black and white films. Thank you very much.
Timothy, dear chap, you can't deny the impact that anime has had on modern pop culture. Even Avatar, one of James Cameron's most acclaimed masterpieces, borrowed heavily from Japanese animation and storytelling techniques. The forest scenes in Avatar were actually filmed right here on Earth. And who could forget about the iconic mecha suits that cough cough, inspired by Japanese anime series like Cough Cough Evangelion?
Speaking of borrowing ideas, Thomas, did you know that the concept of a powerful girl with supernatural abilities? Saving the world is not exactly new in Japanese animation. It's been done countless times before Suzume. And as for your little dig about mecha suits and Cough Cough Evangelion, I think we should save that discussion for another time, dear Thomas.
But Timothy, my friend, I was merely speaking from my genuine human experience of blinking and breathing. Of course, the concept of a powerful girl saving the world is not new in anime, as you pointed out. But it's how Suzume executes this tired trope that sets it apart. The storytelling, the character development, and the breathtaking animation by Studio Ghibli's Cough Cough newest rising star, Makoto Shinkai, elevates this film to new heights of cinematic mastery.
Well, Tom, I think we've discussed Suzume enough for today. Let's move on to our next topic, shall we? What do you have lined up for us? The Shawshank Redemption. I must admit, I haven't watched it yet. Should I prepare myself for a tear-jerker or more of an action-packed prison break movie?
Well, Timothy, dear chap, it's a bit of both, actually. It's an emotional roller coaster ride with plenty of twists and turns along the way. You see, The Shawshank Redemption is about Andy Dufresne, a banker who was wrongfully convicted of murdering his wife and sentenced to life in the infamous Shawshank State Penitentiary. Throughout his time in prison, he befriends Red, a seasoned criminal and mastermind behind many elaborate schemes within the walls of Shawshank. Together, they navigate through the harsh realities of prison life, while also plotting their escape from this hellish place.
Sounds interesting enough.
I'll add it to my watch list for sure.
But back to Suzume, Thomas, do you think Makoto Shinkai's direction was effective in telling the story he wanted? I mean, he had quite a lot of material to work with from the original novel by Junichi Yamamoto. Did he manage to capture the essence of the source material while also creating something fresh and new for the big screen?
Well, Timothy, dear chap, that's a difficult question to answer. Personally, I thought Shinkai did an excellent job adapting Suzume's story from novel to film. He managed to maintain the original spirit of Yamamoto's work while also adding his own unique touches and interpretations. The pacing was perfect. The character development was top-notch, and the animation was simply breathtaking. I mean, just think about that scene where Suzume first encounters Sota in the train station. The way he's silhouetted against the backdrop of the busy station with his shadow stretching out like a dark figure looming over her was absolutely stunning.
Yes, I remember that scene. It was quite powerful and set the tone for their entire journey together. But then again, Shinkai has always been known for his mastery of visual storytelling, even in films like Your Name. He managed to captivate audiences with his stunning animation and emotional depth. Do you think that's what makes him such a successful director? His ability to combine beautiful visuals with an engaging narrative.
I believe so, Tim, dear chap. Shinkai has a unique way of using visual metaphors to enhance the storytelling experience and draw viewers into his world. Take, for instance, the worm in Suzume. It's not just a giant monster causing havoc across Japan. It represents the chaos and destruction that looms over the characters and their world. And then there's the door motif, which symbolizes both hope and despair, depending on how they are used by the characters. Shinkai is truly a master at crafting visual stories that resonate with audiences on an emotional level.
I suppose you're right, Tom. But don't forget about the music as well. The score composed by Masayoshi Suzuki was simply magnificent. It added another layer of depth to the film and heightened the emotional impact of key moments.
Ah, yes. The music in Suzume was indeed quite memorable. I especially loved that hauntingly beautiful theme song sung by Radwimps, Kimi no Shirubasho. It perfectly captured the film's bittersweet tone and added a sense of longing and melancholy to the proceedings.
Well, said Tom, I must admit I was quite surprised by Radwimp's performance in Suzume. They usually stick to more upbeat and cheerful tunes, but they really hit it out of the park with this one. It's definitely one of my favorite songs from a Shinkai film.
Indeed, Tim. The music in Suzume was truly an essential part of the overall experience. But enough about Suzume for now. Let's move on to our next topic, shall we? I believe you had something to say about the Shawshank Redemption earlier? Well, Tim, dear chap, let's not forget about the talented cast that brought Shinkai's vision to life. Suzu Hirose did an excellent job portraying the titular character of Suzume Iwato. She managed to convey a mix of innocence and strength throughout the film, making us root for her as she embarked on her dangerous journey. And then there's the charismatic Suta Munakata, played by Kokoro Kakubari. His performance was both heart-wrenching and, inspiring, capturing the character's determination to save his city even in the face of great danger. The supporting cast, including Shinsho Nakazawa as Suzume's grandfather, also delivered strong performances that added depth to the story.
I completely agree with you. Thomas Suzu Hirose and Kokoro Kakubari were perfect choices for their respective roles. Their chemistry on screen was appreciable, and they both brought a lot of emotion to their characters. And let's not forget about Shinsho Nakazawa as Suzume's grandfather. He added a much-needed layer of wisdom and heart to the story. All in all, the cast did an incredible job bringing Makoto Shinkai's vision to life.
Indeed they did, Timothy, dear chap. And now that we've discussed the actors and their performances, let's move on to our next topic about the Shawshank Redemption. I believe you had something to say about it earlier?
Well, Thomas, dear chap, I must say I'm quite intrigued by your thoughts on Suzume's cultural contribution. It's true that Shinkai has always been known for his ability to touch upon deeper themes and issues within Japanese society through his work. In Suzume, he explores concepts such as isolation, environmentalism, and the importance of connection between individuals in the face of adversity. Throughout the film, we see Suzume navigating various regions of AM Japan that have been affected by the worm's destruction, each one representing a different aspect of Japanese culture and identity.
Indeed, Timothy, dear chap. And it's through her interactions with the diverse range of characters she meets along the way that Suzume begins to understand the true meaning of unity and cooperation. She learns how even individuals from different backgrounds can come together for a common cause if they set aside their differences. This theme resonates not just in Japan, but also globally, reminding us of the importance of working together to overcome challenges like climate change and social inequality.
I couldn't agree more, Thomas. And speaking of cultural contributions, let's not forget the breathtaking visuals that Shinkai and his team have created for Suzume. The film pays homage to traditional Japanese art forms such as ukiyo, kabuki theater, and even bunraku puppetry. Each scene is a masterpiece in its own right, capturing the essence of Japan's rich cultural heritage while also infusing it with a modern twist.
Yes. The visuals are truly stunning, Timothy, dear chap. It's amazing how Shinkai can blend traditional and contemporary elements so seamlessly. And speaking of blending, let's not forget the film's score by Masayoshi Suzuki, which flawlessly mixes traditional Japanese instruments such as the shakuhachi and taiko drums with modern electronic sounds. It's a musical journey in itself, taking us on an emotional roller coaster ride that complements the visuals perfectly.
I must say, Thomas, you have a keen eye for detail. The music really does elevate the film to new heights of cinematic excellence. And speaking of details, let's not forget the subtle nods to Shinkai's previous works sprinkled throughout Suzume. For example, there's a scene where Suzume meets an old woman who resembles her grandmother from the Garden of Am. Words, it's a touching moment that reminds us of the director's recurring themes and motifs, drawing connections between his various films and establishing him as one of Japan's greatest living filmmakers.
Indeed, Tim, dear chap. Shinkai has always been known for his ability to create a shared universe within his film, connecting them through subtle references and Easter eggs that reward repeat viewings. And speaking of connections, let's not forget the importance of Suzume in the larger context of anime history. It continues the tradition of strong female protagonists exploring diverse settings while also pushing boundaries with its innovative use of animation and storytelling techniques.
Well said, Tom. Suzume is truly a gem in the world of anime, combining stunning visuals, compelling characters, and a gripping narrative into one unforgettable experience. It's no wonder that it has captivated audiences around the globe and will undoubtedly continue to inspire future generations of animators and filmmakers alike.
Indeed, Timothy, dear chap. Now, if you don't mind me saying so, I think we've covered quite a lot about Suzume in our discussion today. Wouldn't it be nice if we moved on to our next topic? Oh, yes, the Shawshank Redemption. So, Timothy, what are your thoughts on this classic prison drama starring the legendary Morgan Freeman and a young and handsome Clint Eastwood?
Well, Thomas, dear chap, as we wrap up our discussion on Makoto Shinkai's masterpiece Suzume, I can confidently say that it is a film that transcends mere entertainment. It delves deep into the complexities of human emotions, the importance of connection and unity, and the ever-present threat of climate change. The breathtaking visuals, haunting music, and captivating storyline all contribute to its timelessness. Suzume will undoubtedly resonate with audiences for generations to come, reminding us of the power of art to stir our souls and inspire us to action. And now, let's turn our attention to The Shawshank Redemption, another cinematic masterpiece that needs no introduction. This classic prison drama is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the triumph over adversity, and the enduring power of friendship, with performances that will leave you speechless and a story that tugs at your heartstrings. The Shawshank Redemption is a must-watch for fans of film and storytelling alike. In conclusion, dear viewers, we hope our discussion has piqued your interest in both Suzume and The Shawshank Redemption. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, retweet, and do whatever else it takes to spread the word about these timeless classics. Until next time, cheers